Well, I've just had my first night in Nepal and it was pretty awful because of the hotel that we're in. I don't know if you can hear anything going on in the background, but it's just so noisy, like ridiculously noisy. There's the market right back outside. They were like back out setting up at 5 a.m. Cars just going past, beeping and honking, and there's just people everywhere. So the long overdue sleep just didn't happen. It was just cut off. Fortunately, at some point, I remembered I had these from the plane. So they did get redeployed. They didn't completely shut off the sound, but they did help. So yeah, there we go. I need to go and get a shower. I don't know if there's hot water. We'll find out. And then it's time for breakfast. And then we're getting picked up by Sunita and going to the school. And oh, there's a yawn. And then we'll see what the day holds.
Is this a video?
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Right, let's have your take on the evening.
I fell straight asleep. So I think that was about 9 o'clock, was it? Then I woke up at 11:15 thinking it was about 7 o'clock in the morning. Went back to sleep. And then I woke up again thinking that we were in the middle of the inspection and I was trying to find things around the room that would count as evidence. Then I woke up at 6:45, 7, went back to sleep till 7:30, and now my voice sounds like this. So I think you can gather how I'm feeling. So it was interesting. The shower was warm though for me, like straight away. Like it was hot. Like so hot there was steam coming out of the room.
Oh yeah, mine finished with steam.
But my room smells like somebody smokes at least 40 cigarettes a day in there, so, and I don't know why, because I clearly don't. So, but yeah, it's, and all I wanted was some mango juice for breakfast, and I can't get it.
Yeah, no fruit juice available.
No fruit juice for me.
But we know they have fruit juice.
Exactly, because I had some last night. So I'm buying a Pepsi for breakfast, don't judge me.
They're very strict on what we can have and what we can't have and when we can have it.
I hope I look okay.
No comment.
So mean. I straightened my hair and everything this morning, which, by the way, my straighteners and hairdryer work perfectly in Nepal, so that's a tick for them, because they don't in America sometimes.
Alright, okay.
Yeah, so that's...
I think they have good wattage here, but I think that's their problem. I don't think they have the infrastructure to actually deal with it. That's why there's power cuts all the time.
Yeah. We only had one teeny tiny power cut yesterday. Yeah, so...
This is where we are for breakfast, and this is where we had our curry last night.
And for breakfast, I'm having bread and jam because I don't like omelets, and that was the only option. I think I couldn't really understand.
A few other things were said, but we don't understand what they all were. He's doing his best to talk to us in English, to be fair.
Yeah, bless him, he's trying.
We don't understand a word of Nepalese other than namaste. The breakfast is here. It looks reasonable. I have an omelette, some toast. There's some toast and some jam. No crusts. They're cutting off all the crusts. No one's going to get any curly hair. And then Nick's getting some Pepsi and causing a bit of havoc in the process. I don't think they're used to people ordering a Pepsi for breakfast, and it's caused controversy amongst the kitchen staff.
Thank you very much. Photos okay, yeah?
We've arrived in Bhaktapur. The roads here are very scary. I'm glad I didn't have to drive them.
So what is this? Is it...
We need to get a pass to get
Okay.
in.
Is it, the temple?
It's a palace.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
We have 3 squares, one in the
Right, you're on camera.
Ian ruined my photo. Everyone.
Right, where are we? What are we doing?
Oh,
I'm not very good at this whole talking on camera thing.
we're in
Like Kathmandu.
we're in a place where the king used to live. It's a city. Yeah, good question.
Welcome to the cultural city of Bhaktapur. Bhaktapur.
Bhaktapur. So it got destroyed quite severely in the earthquake a couple of years ago, so they're doing a lot of renovation. So when we go outside, you'll see a lot of that happening. There's a man outside that kidneys are broken, so he's asking for money on a speaker. And then here's lots of artefacts for the Hindus and the Buddhists. No, just Hindus?
I know nothing.
I know that Ian ruins all my photos.
I think that's bullying.
One of them.
It's bullying in the workplace. That.
Not in the workplace, friend.
Well, we're on work business. So that there is the 55 window palace, and the king or prince, whoever lived there, married 55 wives. It's a window for a wife.
Ian couldn't cope with one.
I can't cope with one. My palace would have no windows.
Zero windows.
This is where the king used to come and have a little bath. Yeah, there seems to be some fish in there. There's some fish in there, some koi maybe.
Yeah, there's fish.
Yeah. I'm guessing there didn't used to be fish in there when he went for a bath. Well, that is the tallest temple in town. Right there.
You can see like where the earthquake has damaged things, can't you?
Oh yeah, totally.
I don't want my picture taken in front of the temple. That was a hint.
So I've just had my Rocky Balboa moment running up these steps. A little cheer at the top, shouted, "Yo, Adrian!" And the others are venturing up. So we're not going all the way, but we're part way up the tallest temple. This is traditional Hindu dancing. Stinky fish right there. Look at this though. Very funky.
Stinky
looking.
fish.
No. No, it does stink. The more downwind you get, the more it stinks.
If anything,
They keep falling in the holes in the road.
If anything, if you're going to come to Nepal, come when they've invented smell-o-vision.
What? If you're going to come here, you don't need smell-o-vision because you got a nose and you can just smell.
Yeah, I know, but you can't share it with everybody at home. That's exactly what it's like.
I'm not sure you want to. It's not all bad. There's nice incense at this point, for example. It's just these things zipping past everywhere. I went to the shop to buy some and then sold out. I was incensed.
I've had that for like 48 hours now, everybody.
I know, yeah.
Only 48 hours.
I'm loving it.
Does this look like a face that's looking? Oh wow.
Wow.
Keep it in the sun.
Oh, and it
Dries in the
dries.
sun and then there's your paper.
Wow.
That's nice.
And
Yeah.
recycled mulch.
रुखका भनेको
लुक्ता भनेको
बे-
लुक्ता भनेको रुखको बोक्रा हो त्यहाँ छ
the
त्यो
paper over
झुल्याएको छ
Oh, it's made from this thing. Lokta.
Oh, okay.
So they recycle that paper. Make new paper.
Take it out from the tree. Yeah.
Nice house over there.
Yeah, it's nice.
Oh, we are the first visitor. One, two.
They do love a short door.
Mind your head.
Crouch.
Mother, yeah, I was in the first time. Painting.
This is like when you're in
The chicken has been slaughtered. Praying is in session. Poor chicken.
Oh, okay. Because people do flowers like oh, right, okay.
So the dancer drank the chicken blood.
Yeah.
Interesting. Traditional pot making. For going into those pots. This is the state of the roads since the earthquake. Everything's been renovated. But renovation's going to take a long time, I think. Here's the electric wires. That's what the wire system looks like. It's understandable that they have a lot of power cuts in a day. Some parachuters there.
It's not a temple, it's at Turikit.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Yes, let's go.
So excited.
If there's fireworks, I'm in.
Yeah, there.
Yeah.
There's no rocket.
So
But
exciting.
it's don't blast.
They
Just
don't.
a sound. Boom.
Oh, okay.
But you can see that fire.
Yeah.
So I think they're practicing for a big celebration on Tuesday.
Boom. And the lights
Big
will come
national
up.
holiday celebration on Tuesday.
Yeah, I don't know.
Go on then, let's hear it. Wonderful
बिना
singing.
कारण पटक पटक नाकाबन्दी भयो भुइँचालोको पीडा अझसम्म मनमै थियो सरकारले नयाँ संविधान बनायो भारतलाई नाकाबन्दी गरिदियो थ्याङ्क यू
Superb. Justin Bieber would be proud. So we've been taken out for tea by Sunita, the head of the school that we're working with, and she's brought us to this place, which looks nice. So we'll be going in here pretty soon. Just waiting for her to arrive.
There's a Nissan car.
Oh yeah, there's a Nissan. Hello. So, it's been our first full proper day here in Nepal, and it's been action-packed after a terrible night's sleep, which wasn't ideal. We got picked up. After breakfast, we had breakfast. I had an omelette and some toast, which was all right. Nick had some toast and some jam. Omelette and everything was fine. But then I had a tea with milk, and it turns out tea here is not tea as you would expect it. Certainly not back at home. I think it's called masala tea, and it's just very different to the tea that I would choose to drink. I did my best to drink it in a hotel. Didn't get through a lot. So we got picked up after we got sorted. And Sunita, the head teacher of the school, took us to school. Again, interesting journey in the car. At the school, we got to have a look around. We got introduced to some of the children. We got to meet the teachers that we're going to be doing the project with, Asna and Kachang. They were really nice. They spent most of the day with us. We met an American lady who lives in Israel and has lived in Israel for like 40 years. She's like 70 but doesn't look 70. She's got a real strong New York accent now because that's where she's from. And she's here for a few months and has been here before, and she was an interesting character who I think we'll be keeping in touch with because she was very keen to keep in touch with us. So we got to see the school. We had lunch at the school after having a look at all the classrooms. You have to take your shoes off to go into the classrooms here. So I learned that today. The classrooms, very different to back at home. Education here is very different to back at home. It's quite traditional and old-fashioned to the way things used to be back at home, I think. But the actual content of what they're doing is quite impressive. You know, the English and the math is very good. They're very keen on science here. The top jobs they want to be are doctors and engineers or work in business. So they have high aspirations here. Seeing the school was great. After spending a lot of the day there, we were then taken by Asna and Kachang, the two teachers we're going to be working with, to a place called Bhaktapur, which is where they're both from. And we got to see lots of lovely sights. It was good. We got a lot of history from it, and just from talking to Ashna and Kachang, I've learned a lot about Hinduism and Buddhism because Asna is a Buddhist and Kachang is Hindu. So we noticed Kachang, she had the dot of something here and a little line here drawn onto her head, whereas Asna didn't have anything. So we weren't sure if it was too rude to ask about it, but then I did ask about it, and it turns out that the dot here, that's the Hindu symbol of someone is married. So she's married, she's taken. They don't wear wedding rings here, they wear wedding bands. So Kachang has a band on her left wrist, which is nice. It's red and got like jewels and stuff in it. And if they don't have one of those things and they're Hindu, then that means they're not married. So I've learned that. I learned all sorts just about the history, all about the earthquake as well. The earthquake was 2 years ago here, and they are still a long way from recovering to where they were before, I think. Roads are torn apart, buildings are fallen down all over the place. The electrical wires are just crazy, just sort of, it looks like someone's literally just picked them all up and just hung them over things just to get them out of the way, but they're still working. Even though power cuts happen regularly, we've seen quite a few here. It's very quick. It's powers off, powers on. Everywhere's just so busy. It is a city though, so we do expect busyness, but the roads here, the roads are insane. I tried to do a little bit of videoing earlier of that, but being in the back seat isn't the best way to film. Nick was sat in the front. It just looks like constantly you're going to be hitting people, or people are going to be driving into you, walking into you. At one point, we were just completely driving down the wrong side of the road because the taxi guy wanted to turn right, and we were just coming straight towards this other car. This other car was just beeping at us, and then the taxi, he just stopped because he wanted to turn, and he made that car swerve around us, and then he turned across the traffic. So pretty mental, but a real experience. So today has been a good day overall. You know, really got a good feel for the education system here and the history here. Even though a lot of the temples got damaged in the earthquake, they're trying to rebuild and restore everything back to its original look. So things like that take time. It looks like we're checking out of this hotel that we're in because it's awful. It's just, it's not a pleasant hotel. Mostly just because of the noise outside. We can't sleep with such noise. So we're going to move on to Pokhara tomorrow. We're going to take an internal flight, which is about 30 minutes, which is much better than a 6-hour drive that it would be if we weren't going on the plane. So hopefully the plan is we will pack up in the morning, go down for breakfast, and then we'll check out. We'll go straight to the airport, which is just up the road, which is good. And then our main bags of luggage will be taken to the school and kept there until we return on Tuesday. And we'll just take a carry-on bag with things that we need for a short stay in Pokhara. And Sunita has a friend who runs a hotel there, so I think we're going to be staying there. And then when we come back, we think that Sunita and her husband have sorted us a hotel in a different area, which is more tourist friendly, because where we are, it's just not tourist friendly. So I think that would be better for us, especially because where we are is right next to a big temple where hundreds of thousands of locals are going to be coming, worshipping on this big celebration day on Tuesday. So I think for us to be clear of that, it's probably going to be beneficial for us. We went out for tea this evening. I forgot to say, Sunita and her husband very kindly took us out with their children for a lovely meal. They had some traditional Indian food, and Nick and I had some not so traditional food, because we had a traditional lunch, I should say. Lunch at the school was very nice, actually, nicely prepared, and that's what we're going to have most days we're in school. They have pretty much the same food every day, but then for tea I had some chips. They were nice. I had a pizza, which was Hawaiian, which was just pineapple, so the cheese and the pineapple, no ham, but it was very tasty nonetheless. And Nick had like a chicken and cheese toasted sandwich, I think. And but we tried some of their food as well. They, you know, they like to share a lot of their food around the table, that sort of thing. So it's been an experience, and now I'm very tired. I've just been watching some of the Liverpool match because I realised, even though they have very poor reception on all the channels here, there was a fuzzy version of Liverpool versus Southampton, but I got about 55-60 minutes in, and I need to go to bed because we have another earlier start and a long day ahead of us. So that's what I'm going to do, and I hope to be posting lots of pictures and doing a lot more filming over the next few days. There is no chance that these videos are getting posted whilst I'm here, so these are all going to be retrospective videos now. But hopefully, whoever you are, whenever you're watching them, you've enjoyed learning about Nepal through the eyes of Ian. One thing I forgot to say in that last little video was about the fact that, you know, I filmed this earlier and it will be on this video, I'm sure, but I did not expect to see a headless chicken today that had been decapitated just so someone in a strange dancing mask could drink its blood. So that happened today. Fortunately, we missed the actual decapitation, but we did see the dead chicken. But someone was dancing around for a long time, and at the end of the dance, a chicken had his head ripped off, and the blood was used as a drink, as a way a gift to some sort of god. So yeah, that happened today. Also saw some goats just randomly living in the streets, and they're sacred goats that live near this temple. So people don't harm the goats because they're a gift to the god of that temple, and also lots of chickens. And apparently there was a duck just waddling around. It didn't waddle past me, but Nick was telling me that she saw a duck. So, you know, it's a very different place, it's a very different culture. But I am enjoying teaching the Nepalese people that we've been talking to all about Wales, because they didn't know anything about Wales. They didn't even really know of Wales. So I'm doing my bit, you know, for international relations and for spreading a bit of Wales around the world.